There's a lot of other public servants here and a lot of other great elected officials that I can't recognize all of you, and I don't want to leave anybody out. So I'm hoping you'll head over to the rough draft and I can mention you all and I can thank you all for being here, because this is an historic occasion. Evelyn talked about Sojourner Truth, who did stand right here and did walk up these steps to save her son after she'd escaped from slavery herself. Her son was sent down to Alabama to a slave owner illegally, and she came to this courthouse and got justice. And she was the first black woman in the country to win a case against a white slave owner. And she saved her son, and she changed justice in this county, and she changed justice in this country. It was time for that to happen. It was time for that to happen. In 1846, John Van Buren was elected as the Ulster County District Attorney as a Democrat. He served until 1850. That was the last Democratic candidate in this county for the district attorney position.
Time for a change.
It was time for a change.
169 years later, I do believe it's time for a change. It's time to bring our criminal justice system here in Ulster County into the 21st century. It's time that we fight the opioid epidemic with compassion and rehabilitation and treatment for those for addiction, not putting them in jail, not incarcerating them. Addiction is a disease, not a crime. It's time we stop the scourge of mass incarceration in our country, and we devote and spend more resources to saving at-risk children than we do to incarcerating them. It is time to stop the school-to-prison pipeline, and it's time for the district attorney in this county to lead on that issue and not follow. It is time to stop criminalizing people with mental illness and people with drug addiction. They need treatment, not incarceration. There's a saying, you should become the change you want to see in this world. So right now, right here, on the steps of this courthouse, this historic courthouse, I declare that I'm going to seek the position as a Democrat of the Ulster County District Attorney's Office. Thank you. My vision for a 21st century District Attorney's Office is one that aggressively and vigorously prosecutes persons who commit violent crimes, serious crimes, while at the same time using innovation and creative preventative work throughout the community that's going to protect our children and make the at-risk children a productive member of our community. Now, I've been involved in criminal justice for almost 4 decades. The work that I've done has been both as a criminal justice attorney, a criminal defense attorney that's worked as a public defender, and someone who has dedicated his life to fighting for the people who need to get justice. I will employ practices as your district attorney that have been honed for 4 decades. Practices of an attorney who's been accomplished at every level. I've won every case, believe it or not, that I tried as a public defender. Pretty good, right? I've been a criminal defense attorney for 4 decades. I've won landmark civil rights cases. I've beaten up big multinational corporations that have been abusive to people and consumers. I've won cases at every level in our court system, whether it be civil or criminal, state or federal. As an appellate attorney, I've won cases in the Second Circuit Court of Appeals of the United States Court, or the U.S. Court of the Eighth Circuit out in Colorado, or the New York State Court of Appeals. So I'm going to bring all of that experience, all of that knowledge, and all of that success to the District Attorney's Office. I will bring innovative approaches to promote a justice system that focuses on compassion as well as effective prosecution. Howdy. Not only that, but we have to be concerned about equity in our justice system.
Right.
And we have to be concerned also with fiscal responsibility. We are spending more money to incarcerate people than we are to help people in our community. That has to help. I've been in the Rising Hope program in prison, and I've watched men who have been in there for 25 and 30 years who are now decent human beings, and we're spending $50,000 a year to keep them in prison. We have to find good reentry programs. We have to stop recidivism, but we don't do it by throwing away the key on people. We do it by rehabilitation of those in our community. One of the things I think is real important that I can do, and maybe better than anybody else, is to really work hard and collaboratively at community policing in our community. Community policing, that means that I will work not only with law enforcement, but with the schools and with community organizations. And what we're going to do is make sure that we reach the at-risk kids, that we mentor, that we identify them, we support them, and we stop them from coming into the criminal justice system. And the district attorney of this county needs to be a leader for justice in our community. Not just sitting in a courthouse making decisions about who goes to jail and who doesn't. Somebody who's out in the community. I have been a leader in this community for the last 3+ decades. And I've done this both as a basketball coach and working with the Boy Scouts, as well as serving on community organizations like Family of Woodstock, the Habitat for Humanity, the Caring Hands Soup Kitchen, as well now as the Human Rights Commission as chair. Along with Evelyn, we've led for the last 5 years in trying to implement restorative justice approaches to school discipline throughout our school system here in Ulster County. The Kingston School District, to its great credit, has adopted that and is moving forward. What I want to say, and we talk about restorative justice for a long time so you get to understand completely, but I got to tell you that it works. It saves kids. It gives kids a chance to be accountable and redeem themselves and move along into our community in a very productive manner. It's crucial that we continue to involve that both in the criminal justice system and in the school system. And I will be a proponent for that for all the time that I'm here as a district attorney. We need to stop that school-to-prison pipeline, and I'll be the one along with that. People like Evelyn and people like Mike. I want to say that Mike has visionary ideas about what we can do with restorative justice in this county. He spoke eloquently about it. We together share that belief that we're a better community if we help kids and help the individuals who are at risk in our community to stay out of the criminal justice system. And the DA has to be a leader in doing that. I want to say that I was overjoyed with most of you to see Juan Figueroa become our new sheriff. Juan has innovative and creative ideas, and he's trying to do more rehabilitative work in our jail, and he has inspired me, and I look forward to working with Ron to actually positively transform criminal justice in this community.
Yes.
And I want to give a shout out to Brian Rounds, who is running to become the next county court judge here, and I wish him the most success possible. He's an exemplary criminal defense attorney, and he has the heart and the judgment to be a wonderful judge here in our community. And together, we can make a difference here. We can lead criminal justice into the 21st century in our community. Now, I want to say that for sure, I'm going to make sure that those who commit violent crime, those who commit harm to people in a criminal manner, are going to be held accountable. I will make sure that they are prosecuted, convicted, and punished. See, I was a victim of violent crime myself. I was robbed and stabbed and almost killed when I was a high school student. I know what it is to suffer the trauma, the pain of being a victim. I will make sure that violent crime is something that we stop at every level in our community. And I want you to know that I will do everything I can to protect our community. Not only protect it, but to make it safer, to work for public safety through preventative programs, to make sure that we educate kids and keep them in school and out of court, and to do everything we can to make our community a better place to live. I pledge for the rest of my career to dedicate my life to making Ulster County safer, better, and healthier. I want to ask all of you for your support, for it's time for a change. Thank you.
Coat on. We want you to make it to election day. What are you talking about? Coat on, brother. Good job.
Okay, thank you, Evelyn. Thank you.